Okay, so we're here at ODO in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm standing here with Raider Dread, and he is actually going to be the head judge for the Gundam categories for the show today. And so he's agreed to kind of, I'd say, sit down, but stand up with me for a few minutes here and just talk to me about the show. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited with the amount of people that came out this year. We were real worried about how many people would actually make it.
Yeah.
But
like a good turnout so far.
Yeah, it's a great turnout. It kind of feels like it was 2 years ago, the last time you were down here.
Right.
So it's good. It's going to be a great show.
Awesome. Very good. Cool. So just some stuff on you. How long have you been building?
I've been building for about 2.5 years now, on and off. I'll be able to dive into it for a while, knock out 5 or 6 things real quick, and then life will hit. So I take 4 months off and then dive back into it and just kind of do it that way.
Right, makes sense. And how long you been doing the competitive build thing, like IPMS and stuff?
I started competing about 6 months after I started building.
Okay.
The second model I ever did took second place in a local Hobbytown show.
Cool.
So I kind of got the bug from there, and it's like, IPMS, let's do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to go up to DC next in the summer, and
and
then everything just kind of stopped. With everything going on.
Yeah,
so,
last time I saw you was right before everything went to hell.
Yep.
So cool. And so you've been kind of tapped to head things up. This is your first time judging, which is cool. Thank you on behalf of everybody here, because somebody's got to do it, right? And you kind of have to sacrifice your own ability to enter things. You get the pressure off because you don't have to enter. Pressure off from a competitive standpoint, probably a little pressure onto the judging standpoint because you want to do a good job and stuff like that. So can you kind of explain briefly kind of what you're looking for as a judge and how that's supposed to work?
Like right now I've been avoiding the entire table because the most important thing is that first feeling you get when you see the complete model.
Sure.
You know, it's like you can just look at something and immediately, that's cool.
Right.
Let's look at the smaller pieces and stuff. So the overall feeling is more important than if your panel line's a little off or something like that, because we're not judging an arm or a leg, we're judging the complete piece.
Sure. Cool. And so one of the questions I've kind of had about this, I mean, I've entered in one show now, I've been to a few shows. How much does like the difficulty or the challenge level of what you're building play into it, right? So if somebody's got a perfect grade that's immensely well done, but it's next to a, I guess it would be a high grade, but maybe it's a master grade that's a much simpler kit that's also well done. Does that come into effect, or is that you're supposed to ignore that?
It does, because as a modeler myself, I appreciate the amount of effort that goes into something.
Sure.
On the flip side, if you have a perfect grade that's kind of okay painted, that master grade with a better paint job is more impressive overall. But yeah, we're not supposed to judge it on that type of stuff.
Sure.
But you kind of have that. He put a lot of work into this. It's really well done, and ultimately, that's what we're looking for: is well done pieces.
Right. So it might sway a judge who's, especially if these are both equally impressive in terms of the skills put into it, but this one clearly took more because it was just more. That might even if not consciously, subconsciously, kind of weigh a little bit.
So you got to be mindful of that kind of stuff.
Right. So. Cool. What's the judging process look like? How do you guys start? How do you get there?
Well, we start off with a judges meeting where we'll lay out some ground rules. This year, they're really concentrating on splitting up the big categories.
Sure.
Anything over 18, 20 models, you might want to kind of split that up to make it more consumable.
Yeah.
But other than that, we score on posing, paint job, execution, cleanliness, and creativity.
Okay. Cool. Any other thoughts about the show? Anything else you want to say? Or?
I mean, overall, it'll be fun. I didn't expect this many people here, so it's kind of like it's my first time judging, but it's going to be a little bit lighter than normal, and I was wrong. So, but hopefully, I'll be able to get through everything, find some motivation to take home with me to
Sure.
do some of my own pieces.
Sure. Yeah, I was super inspired last time. I didn't bring anything, and I was like, man, I need to get deep into this. I don't think I even painted anything, or I painted like one kit kinda last time I was here. It's like I gotta do this. I found it super inspiring. It was like I gotta go home and do something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's. I mean,
my schedule
honestly,
when I get home.
yeah, that's like the best part about this
Yeah.
is you're like, that's really cool. I could do something similar, but in my own way.
Right,
and
right.
you can also talk to the other modelers, which is what it's about,
Right.
a community.
Community and
So it's like, dude, how did you do this? Well, I
Yeah.
used this paint, I did
Right,
this,
right.
and then you take home more tools for your toolkit.
good place to get tips and
Exactly.
stuff like that. Right. Hey, look at my thing. What could I do better? How'd you do that? All that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, I think that's all I've got prepared in my brain. So I think that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Right.